My name is Mohsen Rashid. I am the president of the LSCSU Pakistan Society. Today we are having an event in LSC where Munawar Noorani, who is the managing director of Citigroup, and Mehnaz Malik, who is one of the greatest lawyers Pakistan has ever had, who is working in Pakistan, working in UK, is here to share their thoughts and views and their life story on how, through their career abroad in UK, they have been able to help Pakistan. Munawar Noorani is also one of the chairman of the Fellowship Fund of Pakistan. This is his major contribution, that he has sponsored 9 scholars who have been sponsored their education from ground zero to they have done PhDs, and now they've written various great books even that are leading more awareness of Pakistani thoughts in the global world. Moreover, British Pakistan Foundation is one of the leading organizations in UK who is trying to contact more people who are influential Pakistanis in UK and get them to give inspirational talks to help more Pakistanis in UK to go forward in their desired careers and fields. On the other hand, Pakistan Society, or at LSC, wants to help such organizations who want to help students overcome the blockage they have in getting in, let's say, internships or more contacts or more information about various things. So Pakistan Society is doing their role, and so is PPF. Thank you very much.
It's an interesting topic. How do we use our skill sets, our careers, our knowledge to help Pakistan? Most of you are either, which I find quite an interesting term, of Pakistani origin, or you are Pakistani. You're here for a short while to study, or you actually live here and you're studying here. But either way, you can't get away from being Pakistani. You look Pakistani, you are Pakistani, you carry the Pakistani value system, the genetic stock at the very least. And what I have tried to do, at least in my sort of life, is try and celebrate both cultures and both belongings. So I'm very proud of my British heritage, and I'm very proud of my Pakistani one. And I believe that you can combine the best of both and using both those cultural systems to your advantage. Coming more to the Pakistani side, it's not a question of if we can help Pakistan. I think it's really a question of how we can help Pakistan, because there is so much there to be done. There are a lot of problems in Pakistan, and there are lots of people that have the kindest of hearts in the world. But not everybody has the brain, experience, and expertise. And what Pakistan really needs is bright minds who have been trained and honed professionally to deliver solutions. And I'm sure Mr. Noorani will talk to you about his experiences. But we are trained to provide solutions. I think the day I turn around to a client and say, I'm sorry, I don't really have the answer, or that's too difficult a question to answer, I think I'll be out of a job. And in my view, Pakistan's problems are not unsolvable. They can be solved, provided you have the ability and the tool to try and figure it out. And this is what's always guided at least my way of contributing to Pakistan.
You don't have to go back in order to have and contribute to the country. This is another debate that we Pakistanis constantly seem to have, and that's just not true. As Ms. Malik said, Britain is my father and Pakistan is my mother.
No,
both mothers or whatever.
One's adopted, the other's
One's
natural.
adopted and the other's natural. There you go. And it is very true. And that is exactly how British Pakistanis should think about it. When I was at Georgetown, what I did, actually from Claremont, I took an internship with Congressman Lee Hamilton. And this was back in, 1980, 81. It was studying international relations and foreign service. It was one of the most incredible intellectual experiences that I had had. But it gave me an access, and that's what made me decide that I wanted to study in Washington, D.C. And as I did that, for some reason, I made some impact on Congressman Hamilton. It became a friendship, an intellectual one. Every time I would go back to the US for any reason, I would call on him. He would always see me. But it went on. 20 years later, in 2010, I'm having a conversation with him, and he says to me, he has now become the head of the Woodrow Wilson Center for Scholars. And he says to me, the issue with Pakistan is that you may be part of the diplomatic debates, the media debates. You're not part of the intellectual debate in Washington about your country. There are not enough scholars from Pakistan to give the Pakistani viewpoint. And he asked me to see if I could help create a Pakistan program in Washington at the Woodrow Wilson Center. I went back to Pakistan. I talked to a number of Pakistani businessmen and industrialists. Without exception, everybody I spoke to, this is now, September 11 has happened. This is December or so. And every single businessman that I spoke to said, absolutely, we must do this. We must send scholars to Washington, and we will support you. Actually, finding the money was the easiest part. Creating a program, finding the scholars and the right, and going through a selection process, creating an organization around it is the difficult part. But anyway, it was a small little program. The trust that we established is the Fellowship Fund for Pakistan. And we've been doing this for 9 years. There is a conference on an economic-related topic that we have every year. We've had it on food security in Pakistan. We've had on the demographic changes and the needs, the educational reform required, and how you find investment and money for that, civilian aid issues of the US. And it allows us to address many of the issues and project them with Pakistani viewpoints. The second part of the program is to send a scholar. And we have now sent 9 scholars with a variety of issues that they have written about. Most of them have now published books. If you Google Fellowship Fund for Pakistan, you can go and look at the kind of work that these scholars have done. The books are also, I think, in there, and you can download them. And it seems to have taken a life of its own. And it was only because 20-odd years ago, I, as a Pakistani student, did an internship for 4 or 5 months with a congressman. So, there is a time and place where opportunities will come in your life where you can make that impact. and I hope you will grab them. Thank you.